Hope that everybody is having a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you are watching this. I'm back and I'm better. I missed you more than ever. You know how this goes. I don't know why I just did my heart like that. And my hands are freaking ashy, guys. Okay. We're not gonna pay attention to the little aesthetics. I came because I'm hot. I'm on fire right now. Literally, like, I'm on fire right now. I have a message, a download that I need to give to you guys. So I'm going to give the download first, expound on it a little bit as it came to me, and then I'm going to go ahead and hop into the tarot oracle ting-tings like you know we do. Okay, so guys, the download that came to me, first of all, was about, let me go to it. It was about holding versus helping, right? So to hold versus to help, right? So we're talking about building relationships, building a community of relationships, right? Where you feel nurtured, where you feel valued, where you feel loved, where you feel safe, where you feel at ease, right? So to hold versus to help. So first of all, to hold is literally to, Spirit described it as being able to aid somebody in crisis, like coming to their need or coming to their aid when they are in need, basically, right? So meeting their basic needs basically when they cannot, in a way. So for example, let's say somebody is, okay, let's say they're having like a panic attack, right? So when somebody is actively having a panic attack, it's certain things that they cannot do, right? Some people can't speak, like they can't verbally be able to tell you like, I need this, I need that. I'm sorry, I'm just waving this lighter around. I meant to light this candle. But like I said, I just got bit by something. Ouch. No, that wasn't bit. That was the candle just popped me. That wasn't a bug. But anyways, so to hold, if somebody is literally having an anxiety attack, right? What's up, chat? You guys are popping in. What's up, chat? If somebody is literally having an anxiety or a panic attack, there are certain things that they can't do, right? So there are things that you can do. What's up, chat? Y'all kind of going crazy right now. There are things that people can do to come to their aid, right? And usually the people that aid people that are in crisis, more than likely you are going to start associating them with safety, right? There's going to be some type of emotional bond and a emotional connection that is going to be made, right? Because that's a type of form of intimacy, most definitely. Thank you. What's up, guys, in the chat? So that's to hold, right? To come to somebody's aid, right? Or to come to give aid when somebody is in need, versus to actually help. Now, when I thought about this, I'm like, okay, to hold somebody is to help them, right? To hold space for them, to actually give them the things that they need while they're in crisis. That's literally to help them. But Spirit was like, hold on, not necessarily. Because to actually help somebody, right? If you have seen them in crisis, and especially if you have seen them in crisis, like in a pattern or over a certain amount of time, if you are able to, right? And most of the times when you're on the outside looking in, you're able to give something, a little something, right? If you are able to help is to actually aid the foundation of the illness or the foundation of the sickness, the foundation of what needs to be developed, to aid that, right? So for somebody that's having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, yes, you can come to them and you can give them water. You can repeat phrases like telling them that they're safe. You can actually rub their shoulders or rub their back to actually give them some type of like somatic healing, right? And just also remind their body that they're safe. Sometimes physical touch can do a lot more like benefit as far as effect than just words, especially when your mind is kind of like not here. But again, that's different for everybody. So, of course, I'm not telling you to just touch people, like fill out the situation. But the point is to help is once you are seeing these things, if you really want to help somebody, what you would do is you would say, hey, you know, I work at a health food store and I know that there is a line of homeopathic medicines that aid anxiety, and people with nervous disorders that come in, they say that they really help them. So I think that this is something that you should try out. Now, the cool thing about homeopathic medicines is that there is usually no side effect. Like, people don't report side effects because it's so diluted from the main active ingredient, the natural active, the natural like whole herb or whatever it comes from, a herb, a mineral, a vitamin, whatever it comes from, is so far diluted there, people don't report side effects. So the cool thing is either it works or it doesn't, right? So I'm sorry, I'm trying not to pay attention to the chat. um yeah, so to help people is to go like even deeper, basically, to really basically try to aid this person in not having to go through the severity of the incident that you had to experience, right? That's to really help somebody. So to give another example, if you are working as a teacher, and in the school systems, I used to see this a lot while I was a student and while I was working in the systems. To hold a student is to say, oh, you know, it's okay, you know, everybody this or everybody that, you know, to basically make them feel better emotionally. To actually help them is to see the root of the situation and say, okay, hey, I see that this student might be feeling, you know, nervous because who knows, like their shirts are, we have to wear, they have to wear white shirts, but the shirts are always like kind of messed up, so we just go get this student some shirts. Like, you know, are we gonna talk to the parent and get this student some shirts? Or the student is always like kind of like moody because they low-key hungry, so we gonna get this baby some extra snacks. That's actually helping versus just, you know, emotionally consoling. So when we're talking about balanced relationships, we really want to focus on what actually are people offering you, not just about how it feels, because sometimes how it feels, especially in dire moments and moments of crisis, of course it feels like the best thing in the world. But what about in the regular moments? You know, what about on a regular Tuesday at 3:17 p.m., right? How is the relationship? So just the same as we were talking about holding versus helping, right? Where I'm gonna change this ring, guys. I put a ring on my middle finger, and the middle finger is supposedly ruled by Saturn. Now, I am a Saturn baby through and through, okay? Traditional and Vedic astrology, my sun is Saturn ruled. However, I don't know. I'm just gonna go with my intuition because I have been telling myself, just because you're Saturn ruled, that doesn't mean that you don't necessarily have to, that doesn't mean that you have to express like the hardest dark, you know. You can, it's definitely okay to express the more lighter sides, for sure. And I think that was also a part of the message, so I'm glad that I just go ahead and let that come out and come through me. um these relationships that are helpful, they're gonna feel a lot lighter, a lot more on the lighter side for you. The relationships that are holding you but not necessarily helping you or helpful for you, those relationships, they might feel lighter in some moments, but in other moments it's going to feel heavy. It's going to feel like baggage because you're going to have to process things, right? Because things are going to be unclear. It's going to be a little bit chaotic because they're not really helping you, they're just holding you in certain moments, right? And we've been talking about unconditional love, the vibration of unconditional love, the 144 frequency, right? We've been talking about how important it is to feel safe in your relationships in order for you to be your best self and cultivate the things that you want for yourself, right? And Spirit was telling me today, it's not the things that you are actively moving towards, it's the things that are actively moving towards you as you continue to become more of who you truly are, right? Without all of the extra things from other people. Even if that's the extra weight that comes from having to decipher what the F with these relationships that aren't really helpful for you, right? So Spirit also gave me the analogy of, let me go to it. It's in the title. To feed versus to nourish, right? So to feed versus to nourish. So of course, like, the first example that I thought of was a mom, right? So to feed is to meet a basic need, right? You make sure the kid ate, you good, all right, bet. Go to the room, get your little iPad, get out my face, and do your thing, right? To feed like I fed you, you know, how many times have we heard those lines? I fed you like I clothed you, like, you know, like you had a roof over your head. What more do you want from me, right? That's to feed. I think what more do you want from me? I'm not gonna make fun of Tyrese because he was really going through something, but what more did we want from him? Seriously. Okay, but anyways. So that's to feed versus to nourish, right? It's to actually not only meet the basic needs, but to also meet the emotional needs, right? Are you okay? How are you feeling right now? Like, what are you looking at on the iPad? Like, when I tell you to go into the room and get on the iPad, like, what are you looking at on the iPad? Let me see. Like, how do this make you feel when you watch this? Because honestly, a lot of times kids be looking at some crazy stuff, bro. Like, I had, when I was working in the schools, actually the last school that I worked at, I found out that Roblox had a gun shop. I'm like, bro, what? Roblox or whatever it's called. Like, I'm like, so this is what you guys are doing? You're in the second grade. Like, I'm very confused. I'm very confused. But yeah, how is that making you feel emotionally, right? A lot of times you might get mad at your kid for doing some stuff. They just imitating what they saw on Roblox. Okay. To feed versus to nurture. Okay. I'm not like, okay. I'm just talking about the example that Spirit gave me. I'm not talking about anybody's family or how you do your thing, but I think it's very important too. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that on this channel we talk about mirrors all of the time. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it's common, but it's not, definitely not uncommon to get triggered. So it's okay. Just notice the mirror. Like, we all get triggered. We all get triggered here. Okay. It's like, you know, Alice in Wonderland is like, we're all mad here. It's like we all get triggered here, but like, it's okay. It's okay to live out your truth, because through those triggers, that's how you literally become your best self, like in practice. Like, actually, it doesn't look like, I don't know. I always feel like when people think about like the spiritual journey or thinking about like, you know, becoming, just the becoming, everything that we can think of, like the becoming great, becoming successful, becoming famous, becoming wealthy, becoming a parent, becoming a business owner. When we think about these things, it's like we think it's gonna be like, but usually in the process, it's gonna be like, I mean, not, but yeah, like we're gonna have a lot of problems, a lot of problems. Spirit wanted to say that, a lot of problems, but I was gonna say we're gonna have a lot of moments like that. But just in the same way that we're gonna have a lot of issues and a lot of moments like that, we're gonna have a lot of things to celebrate, right? We're gonna have a lot of great things going on. We're gonna have a ton of people around us to help us celebrate, right? A lot of friends and a decent amount of close friends, the perfect amount that we need. Okay, what's up, chat? Congratulations on completing your degree. You're a chemical engineer. That's amazing. Shout out Yvonne. That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. Shout out to everybody that is here, all 6 of y'all. Y'all been flowing in and out though. I fucks with it. I like y'all. I love y'all, actually. Y'all know how we rocking here. Legend gang gang. I stopped saying that for a minute, but it is what it is. Y'all know I just be playing anyway. I really kind of felt a little bit of a type of way about like the verbiage and like the politics behind it, especially like the way our culture is going now with the media, with reality TV and reality TV apps and AI that's taking over the internet with these videos that is like just literally saying the craziest thing ever. The craziest things that people can possibly think of. But it's like it's not people, but it's people that's made. But anyways, I love y'all. That was my point. Like, I love y'all. So let's go ahead and pray real quick. I done got sidetracked yapping. Let's pray, and then let's go ahead and get into the tarot. To feed versus to nurture, right? And not just nurturing emotionally, but literally the whole self, the multi-dimensional self, right? So not, when I say the whole self too, I'm not even just talking about like just you as an adult, right, or a teenager, um emotionally, physically, mentally, but I'm also talking about your inner child, your inner teen, you in past lives, right? Okay, so the first card to pop out, I'm using my Egyptian Gods Oracle deck. I love, I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. I love this deck, y'all. This is one of my favorite decks. But anyways, short song intermission. Okay, so the first card to pop out was Moot, card number 19. Okay, numerology of 1. Amazing. We're talking about new beginnings, fresh creation, fresh birth. Okay, but this card was upside down. This was the card of being ordinary. It's upside down because you're not ordinary. Okay, we love to see it, but we already knew that because we're legendary. Shout out to the teenagers in the chat. Oh god. Oh god. But if you're led here, then shout out to you. You know, this message is not just for, you know, the grown folk. All right, let's get some affirmations. Oh, I said we were gonna pray. Kuroma yestabatia habaye. Gandu hakia vati. Thank you to my benevolent ancestors and my entire divine spirit team that looks out for me, and all of the legends. Thank you for their ancestors and guides, all of our connected ancestors and guides through the one and inside of the one. Thank you for leading us and guiding us together to come together to do this reading, to better ourselves, to truly understand the light that's inside of us. Notice I didn't say see it, because you already see it. We came together today to celebrate a man. We are not here to mourn. We came here to celebrate. Can I get an amen? We came to celebrate though. Like seriously. So the first card that popped out of this affirmations deck is make curiosity your nature. Okay, we have card number 27. I am curious. I am a curious being I am a curious being who desires to dive deeply into uncertainty and vulnerability. Who here is studying a different language? Okay, if you're studying a different language and you've been getting like a little bit irritated or annoyed because every time you try to practice it out loud, like either with people or by yourself, you're getting frustrated because you're getting tongue-tied and you feel like you look stupid or you sound dumb. Do you know that's how you learn? Like, and do you know, like, even though the native speakers that you're speaking to, even though they might like laugh or chuckle or smile, they're not laughing at you, and they actually appreciate you for taking the time and the energy to study their language, because they understand how many Americans do not. So whoever I'm speaking to, please continue your practice, and spirit is also telling me that that is going to bring you an abundance of wealth. Like, you really don't even understand how much that wealth is going to do for you, and how much wealth you're going to acquire. Okay, All right, so that was for somebody. The next card was, I love how y'all 27 is the number on this card. 2 and 7, or 2 and 7 might be very significant for somebody, or the number 9, that's the numerology. That's also my birthday. Shout out to Aquarius gang. Some of you guys might be Aquarius. And this next card is card number 26, so that's kind of ironic. Feel your purity. I hold my focus in the direction of pure light and joy. Okay, I love this, especially because we were talking about nurturing, and she's literally like, so it looks like she's doing some yoga or some type of, like, this type of deep stretch is extremely nurturing for the body, right? Even if you just think about how many times do we feed the body, literally, but we don't nurture our bodies the way that our bodies almost require the nurturing, right? Because we can do our thing, and then, but after a while, the body be like, okay, like, you know, okay, like, shut it down, for real. Like, body becomes grandma. Like, you need to lay down. Like, you need to sit down. Like, you need to sleep, actually. Drink water. Drink water. Drink water. But feel your purity, okay? I hold my focus in the direction of pure light and joy. Focusing on the things that nurture you, right? Focusing on the things that not only hold you, what was it? Hold you, but help you. Focusing on the things that not only hold you, but the things that actually help you to grow and become literally become the best version of yourself, right? And a lot of times we don't even see how the problems and the issues that we perceive, they're actually the things that crack us the hell open, so that we actually have the capacity to do the things, right? It gives us the platform in order to propel once we get the energy of resilience in us, right? But first you needed the platform, right? You needed the foundation, or else you wouldn't have no fire. You wouldn't be on fire. You wouldn't be motivated to do nothing. If you're comfortable, why move? Why do anything? Y'all, I'm on fire. If y'all better like the video. Y'all better like the video. Like the video if it's resonating for you, and subscribe to the channel. Okay? What's up, chat? What's up, chatty chat? All right, and then next we have self-love. This is card number 7. I am awakened to the inner essence of my being, and therefore I can clearly see everyone's inner beauty. Okay, now we were just talking about manifesting, like, friend groups that nurture you, and friendships that not only feed you, but they actually help you to grow and expand, right? Also, I think it's beautiful that the moon up here above this group of friends that's literally like holding each other. I think it's beautiful that the moon up here is shown in phases. And if I'm not mistaken, this is all the phases except for the new moon, which we wouldn't be able to see. But I really think that that's beautiful because it shows that, first of all, no matter where these ladies are, like underneath the phase of the moon, they're still connected. Like, they still have each other. So even though you might be in a certain phase in your life where you don't necessarily feel held, you are definitely still held. If you don't see it in your friend group right now, it's by your spirit team. So reach out and let them in, okay? And honestly, I really do feel like in the future, if you don't have it right now, in the future, this is what is coming to you, right? Because we say it's not what you're going towards anymore. It's literally what's coming to you. You are the conscious creator, the active manifester, the legend, period. Okay? I love y'all. I love you guys. And then last but not least, okay, first of all, I love how the cards started out with single people, and then these last 2 cards are both groups literally holding each other. So this card is card number 13, the card of compassion. I carry the weight of love in my heart and compassionately feel all hearts. Together we rise, right? Look at this. This is gorgeous. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, guys. Shout out chat. Are you guys holding me? Do you guys hold space for me? I always hold space for you. You already know. Legend gang. This is gorgeous though. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And honestly, I feel like the more that you... Do y'all hear them turning up? Okay. The more that you continue to express yourself and be yourself, the more that you continue to literally let your light shine, the more that you continue to set boundaries and say no when no needs to be said, the more that you actively work on literally just letting yourself be yourself without too many constraints. I was gonna say without any constraints, but sometimes you gotta restrain the self, you know. Sometimes you gotta get the different selves in a line, aka like the shadow and the ego. They don't always need to be in the driver's seat, and that's okay. The higher self needs to be in the driver's seat almost at all times. It's difficult for me to think of a time when the higher self would not be able to handle a situation, you know. Anyways, let's get a little... this music, bro. Let's get a little bit more from the Egyptian deck. We were talking about building friendships and friend groups that really align with unconditional love. Really express that to you. Friendships where you feel safe so that you can actively be your best self and express that without having to always, you know, mask. Okay. Okay. So the cards that came out. So we have Kanum, card number 21, with resourcefulness. We have Selkis, card number 33, with healing. All three of these cards popped out reversed. And then we have Amut, card number 30, with devastation. Okay, so we have card number 30 with the numerology of 3. We have Kanum 21 with the numerology of 3. And then we have card number 33, right? 33 has a numerology of 6, but the 3s are a thing. Somebody might be born in March. This is also giving... I heard Spirit say things happen in 3s. Birth, experience, death, rebirth, experience, death, rebirth, experience, death, rebirth, experience, death. Death doesn't necessarily have to be like actually literally dying like you know, in the grave, but it can be moving on, right? It can be the birth of a relationship with somebody. That could be a friendship, or it can be romantic or it can be a romantic friendship, right? Those are things though, because sometimes it doesn't have to be too complex. It's just a very intimate friendship. But experience, right? So actually going through the things, going through the motions, and then eventually moving on or developing elsewhere, or things happen. Literally nothing lasts forever. So I'm not gonna say somebody dies. Something might happen, like people outgrow each other. This is just the cycle of life. The cycle of life. Not to be morbid, but it feels morbid. It feels morbid. So let's hop into the cards. So we have resourcefulness, right? So we have resourcefulness, devastation, and healing, all turned reversed. So what Spirit is saying here is that I'm feeling the thick energy, so I know that it's there. But what Spirit is saying in this, it's important for you to verbalize how you feel, if nobody else, to your spirit team. And honestly, spirit is telling me that you have somebody that you actually can talk to. Like, you have somebody that you can talk to. I almost hate to say this, but somebody is talking to chat GPT, and about the right things and the right moments that can be helpful if you have nobody else to talk to. But just be careful, because remember that chat GPT is AI. So it's not a person, it's being trained by multiple different people. So you have to think about, you have to think about, you have to remember your voice, right? And spirit is saying, even if you are guided to speak to other people, even in that, like, it's good to get it out, but sometimes that's not the point. The point is to the point is to get it out and then listen to your voice, because once you get it out, your voice can come through more clear, because you're not as muddled, right? It's not as much like noise, noise, noise. Y'all remember in the Grinch when he was like, noise, noise, noise? It's not as much noise. You let it out, right? Like emotional vomit, basically, verbal vomit, basically. You cleared it out. Sometimes you need to just vent, like, that's okay. But then pick up your tools. Pick up your tools. Pick up your tools, whether that's your prayer, whether that is tarot cards, right? Whether that's your journaling. Pick up your craft. Pick up your craft. Sometimes it's not always intellectualizing and analyzing the problem. Sometimes it's just doing something else. A lot of times I feel like that's how we get stuck in these loops. We want to analyze stuff to the bone, to the grit, when you can really just take all of that focus and energy and put it on something else and be so productive in that thing. And what you're going to find out is, get into the bone, into the grit of your grief. Well, more than likely you're going to find something else that needs to be processed. Going over and doing your craft, doing something that you can be proud of, exhibiting something that you practice, well, that's going to bring you a sense of achievement. What I'm saying is, what is it? Risk, cost of risk. The cost of risk. You have to look at the cost of risk and compare. Okay? Which situation, now that you done seen both of them, because you already know. Spirit is saying, for a lot of y'all know in the collective. A lot of us, you're here because you done seen some shit. Okay? So you know. You know. You know that you can intellectualize your feelings until the break of motherfucking dawn. But then you gonna be sleepless. Or you can pick up your craft. Or pick up something that you're passionate about. Pick up something that's going to intellectually stimulate you and emotionally elevate you. And ultimately, that's going to give you a way better result. Y'all, I feel like a preacher. Y'all better like the video. Like the video if it's resonating with you, please. I love you. I love you guys. And subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, because y'all know I'm talking that hot, super hot fire. Y'all remember that back in the day, super hot fire. But anyways, yeah, so pick up your tools. Don't stay in devastation, right? Because what Spirit is saying is, at the end of the day, the resentment is always going to be there, but how much are you going to let it cloud your entire experience, right? How many pages in your story is going to be under, like, the undertone of resentment, or is going to be written with the undertone of resentment? Okay? This is actual, not factual. This is not found in no book. Actual, not factual. I'm being so silly tonight, bro. But that's because the energy is thick. And I've been at work all day, so I'm ready to play anyway. But Spirit is saying that this is going to amplify your energy, okay? Being in play, being in flow, being in your passions, being in your craft, being in your bag. It's going to remind you of who you are, okay? And that's going to give you a feeling of perseverance. Like you're persevering through the trials. You're going to feel like you're getting through stuff faster, right? You might swing, like your emotions, the balance, it might swing, but the swings are not going to be over here and over here and over here and over here. It's going to even out. You know, you're going to find your break even. You're going to find your middle path. Two, you're going to find your higher ground. Who's listening to? Is that Marvin Gaye? We were just talking about Marvin Gaye before. Shout out to Legend Tribe. Legend Guy. I love you guys. Okay? And ultimately, what is this path that Spirit is telling you about leading to? What is this path that your higher self is guiding you to, or is literally guiding you towards by actions, like telling you to do certain things that you might not want to do, and you like, I'm tired, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to get up and eat right now, but you know that you're on your gym journey, and you know that you're supposed to be bulking right now. So you know it would be more beneficial for you to get up and go eat instead of laying in the bed. You do that all the time. You can get some. You still gonna get your rest. You'll be fine. Like, Spirit is leading you, actively working with your higher self to bring you closer to your goal, closer to my dreams. Okay. I cannot take me tonight, okay? What have y'all been talking about in the chat? Chat has been kind of live tonight. I'm just gonna do a... I've been trying to ignore some things because I saw some things and it was kind of throwing me off. Like... Okay, y'all wasn't talking about nothing. It's okay. Y'all was just saying hey for the most part. Yeah. I had to stop going live for a while, guys, because I realized that I was just like doing too much. I don't want to talk about... I don't want to look at that mirror. Like, it's okay. You know, you live and you learn. You have to learn, bro. You have to learn. I feel like that's literally a part of experiencing, and you can't be afraid to let people see you learn. That's what Spirit has been dealing with me about. You can't be afraid to let people see you learn, because not only does that inspire people, but it shows people that certain things are possible. It shows people that, like, you know, being human is a thing, because a lot of times social media makes being human like so taboo. We want to be fake, we want to be AI, but you can't be AI. Like, it's okay to be human. Like, we were literally put here to be that, and we don't have any control over being human. So I'm okay with you guys watching me learn. I appreciate the fact that, you know, for the majority of like times talking with Tribe, like, you guys are really cool. You know, I really do love you guys. I haven't ran into too many issues, but I love y'all. Shout out to you guys. It's getting a little dark out here, but I don't know. I think it's time to call it. So I'll see you guys later. It was a good message though. We didn't go for that long. I felt chatty, but we didn't go for that long. So shout out to you guys. I hope that everybody is having a good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. And I will check back in with you guys later. Yeah, this was like the most authentic live that I've done in, I think, like, ever. We chatted it up. We chatted it up. We did tarot. We did oracle. We talked about downloads. I talked about myself, like, everything. But yeah, I love you guys. Take care. See you later, and stay legendary most of all. And like the video if it resonated with you. Subscribe to the channel, because you know you're gonna come back, and let YouTube know that we matter. We matter, YouTube. Okay, I'm out of here because I'm being too silly. All right, y'all. Peace. And cut our post notifications on. All right, peace. Please, I love y'all. Peace.